Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us for the May 2nd, 2024 Poetry Slam here at Studio Central.
3 poems to share today. This first one's called Cyberfix. So here we go, Cyberfix. I now plug in my mind into the main frame. I'm escaping the real world into a fabricated universe. Here I can be anything I choose to be, and I feel totally free. I never want to leave this place. I can be a hero or the villain. I spend all my savings to plug in, but it's well worth it. I have many friends here and also have enemies here too. And I realize I am alone and unnoticed, but here I can live like a god. My mind is burning out from too much cyber time, but I'd rather die here than in the real world. This was called Microchip. Soon, everyone will have a microchip in their brain. If you want to buy something, all you just think about it, and will show up at your front door. You'll talk to your friends in your thoughts. You'll have access to the whole world in your mind, but beware. The police will be able to track you wherever you go. There will be nowhere to run to. And if you go insane, the authorities will be alerted immediately. Your whole existence will be on the digital grid. Your fear will be the price of this convenience. This house was called The Program. It goes, people will tell you to get with the program. That's because they want to program us. This is not a metaphor, it's an actual program that we're expected to surrender to. We're offended the wood chipper and we're spit out all the same. If we don't get with the program, we are cast out of society like exiled criminals. From the time we were children, we were taught to conform. We are products of society from the day we were born. We are marked and tagged like cattle on a farm. Feeling accepted is the drug in our arm. There you go.
All right. Hi, I'm Cassandra. I've got 3 poems for you today. The first is called Waiting. Waiting for a taxi in a bad part of town. Waiting, but none seem to come around. Reckless cars pass me by on this busy street. I feel so exposed to the fumes and heat. Sometimes it can get me down, thinking about the people living in this neighborhood, experiencing crime and waiting on the good. Watching the cabs fly by, I feel besmirched inside. Waiting where I have no business being, the dust in the wind, all the traffic I'm seeing. Visiting this small clinic where the doctor doesn't care. In and out in 5 minutes, I'm well aware that I'm not at the top of anyone's priorities. But when I write, I can tell my stories. I'm bored and I'm tired, I want to go home. I feel like I've just been fired from my own life. There's no natural beauty to ease my spirit. Anxiety slices through me like a knife. What if someone tries to steal my purse? What if the cab never arrives? What if I'm standing here forever outside? Sometimes you have to take chances in life and simply hope that everything turns out all right. This is the inner city covered in dirt and grime, a typical Winnipeg muddy springtime. Still waiting for a taxi in a bad part of town. Waiting, but none seem to come around. Thank you. Okay, this one is called Outrage. You think you're the morality police and you stand in the way of people expressing themselves and being free. You think you know what's best for everyone and you try to manipulate their minds when all they want from you is to be kind and accept their right to have a point of view. You think you're right all the time and can't agree to disagree, but that's what it takes to make peace. You think you can make an individual's choices for them, and then you wonder why they push back when you want to save them from living in sin. You have so much outrage because people don't listen and obey. But come what may, they will do what they will do and say what they say. It bothers you so much that people will be who they want to be. But the world is a diverse place and people will always interpret it differently. You think it's immorality when they protest and shove the differences in your face. But the truth is they are tired of being oppressed by people like you. Maybe you mean well, but it's not your mission to save their eternal souls. The most loving thing you can do is just let go. Surely they have made mistakes, but isn't that what free will is all about? They have the right to exist as themselves. Thank you. Okay, and here's the last one. It's called Present. The solution to memory is being in the present. to stop and meditate upon faith that motivates you to make the journey, even when you are lost and hopeless, carrying that baggage thinking it might protect you even though it weights you down. The past assaults your ability to cope, making you doubt your own intentions. Your most cherished wish is for some kind of intervention. Whose wisdom is enough to eradicate the damage to your vulnerable psyche? So you draw your pain to you in a way that feels like intimacy. But trauma is greedy and loneliness isolating. Living in a nightmare, thinking no one cares. Sometimes it all seems so unfair, that you've hit bottom and others have left you there. Unable to focus, your consciousness swallowed by an ocean of fear, full of regret and self-loathing. The present is truly a gift, self-awareness showing the way into the future, separating the demons from the angels and guiding you to a lightness you've never known, and to an appreciation of how suffering has led you home. The anguish that you thought you could never survive is over and done with, and you're still alive. You are safe and you are loved. After long last, you received the gifts you were dreaming of. All that's left is to go on. Thank you.
Who's you and them in the poetry?
Hello. The headline poem, it's called It's All the Rage. Me, make me want to be hot for sensory explosion, so fine in emotion sublime, in electric waves of decadent delights, coming forth from the grave on this eve of thrills, spills and serial killer's mistress, last prayers for past joys withering, in every future must there be repetition in the flushing of waste, and greedy is the toilet for more hee-haw, pumping through the pipes, screaming across a lumpy battlefield, toward promised victory in the promised land, owned but not operated by the so-called Almighty in the sky, peering out at all with fresh spit, trembling for a target so pure and snow white to drown it in shame without recourse to protection from subconscious wants you never knew you could afford until there's nothing left to spend it on but time paying on your face, belly, and ass, sagging behind memories of heroes bygone. Don't forget to count bodies rising in the streets like slabs of red gloves splashing across news media exposures that sell you smiles that lie so very deep in the psyche of mass communications, record-breaking sales you can't see where it stops, and it diseases of mind and body, seeping through the pores like slime on the sleepy faces of artificial cows waiting to be slaughtered and ingested on plastic chairs by plastic teeth in a plastic room that looks so clean and shiny you wouldn't never guessed how well you demonstrate body language in an emergency situation. Dig a hole in the underground and kiss the circus farewell. For the last time, try not to ask why. The universe should be a meaningful illusion where there are so many good damn reasons to misuse for cynical purposes without concern for which way is the dead end, one way out. Run in the opposite of everything when everything is anyway meant to be for the next new hope of relief from not knowing the strange strangers living at your pharmacy, searching the aisles for a quick cure to cancel perceptions of the ozone layer. Sliced and mighty spicy servings are coming up for a tasty treat. Just wait and see all that chocolate pie oozing out from a heated pistol, warping off one final victim and a thunderbolt flash of bloody revelations. All those people crawling the streets with an excitement for red desire, ripping back the top of a sardine can convertible sports car, screeching to a deliciously action-packed ending, till death do us apart with the last glamour of fresh breath proclaiming, "It's all the rage."
This is by Brittany Fox. It's called The Devil May Cry. You were born with smooth and sublime skin, but your baby teeth came in crooked and awfully rotten. There would often be times you teeth on yourself or brass knuckles instead of the usual hardened nipples and suckles. As you maneuvered through the muckle that nearly ate you alive, you learned that you were deprived of your parents' devotion and pride. Although angel hair veins are tightly tied around your weakened bones and hypocritical heart, you can still savage your spirit that has been savagely torn apart. Those who have trespassed through the windows of your soul have left their fingerprints after finishing their selfish goals. The love that was force-fed to you was done so by a beautiful liar who believed that you were a heathen who was meant to crawl out of hell into her evil empire. She who truly desires to leave lacerations on the rest of your freedom wholeheartedly fantasizes about how much you need them. But the way she wrung out your youth and left it to dry, you may just be enough of a tale to make the devil cry. This is called A Bug's Life. 6 feet under, centipedes are sucking on your clavicle, while flies scheme on the walls of your coffin. They both take dignified delight in the devouring of your bag of bones. The smell of your dried blood and rotten flesh fills the flies' nostrils and arouses the colonized ants and arachnids. The spiders that have spun their webs within your precious skull anxiously await their prey, and as they watch the worms wolf down the rest of your carcass, they ponder what's in front of them but the final cycle of death. The integrity of this sadistic ceremony comes naturally to these insects, as it is the key to their survival. One's called, these two are, I have 3 poems of my own to read. This one's called Circumspect Sea Turtle, and all my poems are the glory of God and to Gwyneth with love.
Amen.
Thank you. A window into time, searching the grids of the deep, wearing a crown of molten gold, staring into the eyes of obviousness, framed by simplicity. A shell is a world of mystery, a beak of the sky through time, a head of brickwork, carrying civilization in the mind, men seeing their deficiencies, the destruction of their own home, submitting like the planet itself. The sea turtle lays eggs into our hands. We dance on newly hatched beings. They still exist, the lyrics sing out, as if we are surprised each time, as we decide whether to set them free into the water or make them crawl. Our hands shake nervously as we protect them from scavenging birds, some kind of university or greater wisdom on their journey. Some way they put us to shame, a kind of brilliance they carry, no carbon footprint, nothing but beauty, a tender hope, optimism personified. We play with ping pong, we play ping pong with their eggs, with our lives, intravenous existence from their presence. We look away and bow our heads as we see each other on the sidewalk. We just walk by our world, except for the moments of hope that silent wisdom brings. Love is our impotence, hope is our tomorrow. Disaster is littered all around the world. Fishnets are our new ozone layer. How do we rein it in? Jokes about fishing nets have already come true. Irony is the greatest truth, is the greater truth. We rely on turtles, and where do we truly live except on what we rely on? Mountains of buildings can't be found with electron microscopes, but with common sense. Maybe they laugh at us. Surely our laughter isn't as loud. Surely we see that we are being laughed at, and that this moment maybe not. And at this very moment, I guess maybe not. So we laugh at the silence of brilliance. And this one's called Blue Whale Orca. A predator of peace, all fall in submission, like the plankton of the sky. It breaches to the grand and beautiful ocean. It plays with notions of its defeat. Power that renders competition like playthings that want to play. Love is its time walking the world, a place to start, to see giants must be alone, must love people as ants. It sees the clouds like cities, the air like gold. The sun is a magic trick of things greater than size. The moon is like a forest, with trees that live like the sea of tranquility. The stars are too far away to hold our imagination. It makes us so small we become crucial, while the universe is only 15 billion years old. Things so big they become small. The swipe of its tail stuns countless fish. Food is like a chocolate bar, to bite down on a fish, to see how sweet life is. With countless friends, she is comforted by affirmation of her choice. A spiritual leader of killers who will not kill while the Christ lives on earth. Dancing like an airplane with heliaxial fin patterns. Meeting a blue whale of such great peace the sky is almost underwater. The dome of reality is greater than limits. To the depths so deep even diamonds are stars. Killing seals as their blood stains the water, trying to make their death as playful as possible, so a kind of personality goes into the way they live. Why can't a whale launch itself into the stars? What faith limits us that even hands can't change it? Dance floors are a place of losing track. Sleep and relaxation are tribunals. Identity is communal. Entrance is the greatest among them. Question is departure. Songs are like waves on the surface because things must change invisibly. And this one's called Buffalo Angel. He stands atop a cross, his wings pushed to one side in the wind. The horns on his head mean he understands a sea of living beings. He understands their near extinction, rising to greatness and being truly humbled, offer wisdom to all eternity. Many will always be challenged by an angel with horns. He is not a demon, he is not a fallen angel. He has the patience of history, a patience of the past. The future can change the past. Our perspectives evolve. Extermination of beauty was a theft. He will fight in eternity to help restoring honor. The expectation of prejudice in his eyes as they calmly survey his world. His fight is against no one. His fight is for everyone. Grace in the art of war as his practice. Wisdom is honesty, love is God. Time is responsibility. Death is avoided at all costs. He will fly deep into the sky to dance with love. Laughter grips him as God places him anywhere at any time. Irony reveals an intelligent smile. Angels seek his company, but he is alone like a man in a crowd. He has no problem with an irresistible force and an immovable object. God will change anything. He can enjoy the grand cities and beautiful country of the planets of heaven. The idyllic beauty of eternity is free of evil. His art is great, but his servitude is his passion. Children gather and clamor. The power of the human frame is mixed with a fight between God and Lucifer. It is not really a fight, and weakness is nothing other than the need to fight against reason. He awaits a time to be on the news, to tell mankind of its beauty, of God's love for everyone, as time blows through his hair and his feathers capture the wind like poetry, and the horizon offers the most cleansing breath. Thank you.
Well, I thank you very much, James. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And props to Brittany, to Henry, to Cassandra, to Rob, and everybody who is out here today, and Ollie behind the camera. You know, just tune in next month, same bad time, same bad channel.